You know, overhyping something should be against the law, right? How many movies, TV shows, and Christmas presents have we had ruined because somebody overhyped it to us? They told us it was super fucking amazing. And then you actually get it, and it's not that great. It's okay, but it's not amazing. In WoW, this can happen a lot. Not only because the top guilds either keep things to themselves, creating rumours and myths about certain bosses, but also those people who have nothing better to do because they heard something from like their brother's, sister's, cousin's brother that this boss is really cool, and you should be really excited about doing it. So where would one find out about, I don't know, the best boss, the hardest boss? Where are you supposed to go? The WoW community forums.
Muro.
The hardest boss. No, Bolsita na cartas.
Muro.
Pre-nerf was the hardest. Hey, the hardest fight in WoW was...
Muro.
Trust me, I even have no achievement points to delete my character. When overhyped bosses are in an instance you're currently doing, then the other bosses, no matter how hard or cool they may be, always seem lackluster as you're waiting for the day when you'll get to see the big guy. Like Algalon, Blizzard tout him as a super hard, heroic only mega boss, and only after defeating an encounter as amazing as Firefighter or XT. XT was awesome, fuck you! You always have in your mind that, well, we still have Algalon to go. Then you fight that disaster of a Molten Core boss and feel dejected with the whole instance. Sunwell Plateau was and is the most overhyped instance in WoW. I fully agree that the Sunwell is the most difficult raid instance ever created. Every boss was as hard as an end boss, but one of these bosses was so overhyped that it infuriated me when I actually got into it. It was all, oh, 50 wipes on Kalagos, no problem, Muru still to go. 100 wipes on Brutalis, no problem, Muru still to go. 150 wipes on Felmis, no problem, Muru still to go. Oh, you wiped 250 times on Twins, no problem, now it's Muru and he's awesome. Let's backstory Muru. As the first time I saw it, I was all, the fuck is that? It's like, well, the fuck is that? Muru is a Naru. That's interdimensional flying spark of creation to you and me. He was chilling in Tempest Keep, then some dirty blelves took him to Silvermoon and casted jazz hands on him, but then Kael'thas took him to the Sunwell to stand in a room on his own like a fucking ornament or some shit. You can already get the idea that Muru is kind of a pussy. I mean, if a ladyboy blelf can use and abuse him so easily, what problem would we have? So this is it. All the wiping, all the horror stories. This is the best and hardest boss ever made, and now we're about to do it. Charge! Wait, what's this? It just floats there. It does nothing! Nothing! Ah! Muru's amazing super badass ability is to tickle you with shadow energy. Maybe it gets better. Oh, some ads. And now we're dead. The hard part everyone has been banging on about is the ads. Time to take a closer look at this fight. It's a two-phase fight, okay? In phase 1, you have to gradually defeat the floating turtle while dealing with his ads. He spawns 2 berserkers and 1 mage ad on either side of the room. They hurt a lot and have a lot of health, so killing them before the next pack arrives is the primary challenge. He spawns 1 void sentinel who turns into a load of little ads when it dies, again killing them before the next one spawns. He also spawns these scary Skeletor heads that need dispelling, or if they touch you they wipe you. Phase 2 is even more amazing. He turns into yet another Void Demon, but now features all new and exciting spinning balls of fuck you melee, complete with frustration, why did I roll this class, and fuck this boss and everyone who helped create it. The strangest thing about this fight is that Muru and Entropius both do barely any actual damage themselves. In comparison to the previous ads, you have to wonder what the plan was here. Entropius eventually does a lot of damage, but it's just an artificial enrage, so you can't do anything other than just kill him before he kills you. This does add some intensity to the fight, but more to blind you from the real danger. That there's so little creativity in this fight, it's astounding. The next major disappointment for me in this fight is the actual room you fight him in. I mean, a room could do a lot for a raid boss. Look at Raggy, Nefarian, Illidan, or even Brutalis from the same raid. Muru gets the luxury of a claustrophobic room with 2 doors. Even the trash rooms in Blackwing Lair got more star treatment than this guy. He doesn't even get a goddamn picture or a TV. No wonder he's pissed. Because the room is so small, you literally spend the entire raid evening staring at a wall. There is nothing else to see. As you're dealing with ads throughout the majority of the fight, they are tanked against walls too, forcing you to have the most uninteresting evening ever. I love raiding, but the prospect of staring at a wall, tanking ads for an evening upon evening was a tortuous experience for even the most hardened players. Let's talk about the effect this boss had on guilds. Muru killed hundreds of guilds and not a single fuck was given. You might think this was simply down to his difficulty, but actually it was more due to the class stacking required to kill him. Class stacking is something Blizzard has tried to scrub out of the game. Not with a great success, but at least they're trying. In Sunwell, they embraced the idea with open arms, crushing guilds in the process. If you didn't have 4 or 5 shamans in the raid, it was literally not worth attempting to progress on Muru. Not having 4 or 5 warlocks? Get out! More than 2 mages? Laughing my ass off, you fucking retards! Across Azeroth, warlocks and shamans were taken from their beds, which meant the other guilds simply had less of these classes, meaning their progress was put in the grave before they even got to the boss. The difficulty of this boss was entirely due to DPS requirements. Some say it was overtuned, and it was, via normal DPS standards of a normal raid setup. Muru was next to impossible, leading to the next most retarded aspect of this encounter. Fucking leatherworking. Drums of Battle had been in the game since the beginning of the Burning Crusade, and were seen as a kind of a novelty to raiders, but due to their long 2-minute cooldown, they weren't seen extensively. Oh, but wait. If everyone in the group has them, then they can be chained to make the party essentially bloodlusted through an entire fight. The next step? Mandatory profession rerolls for the whole guild. Yay! It didn't matter how much you were attached to your old profession. If you were serious about raiding and doing content like Muru, you were rerolling to leatherworking and to get your drums on. They were used before Muru as a band-aid to sloppy DPS, but Muru is the guy where it was essentially required to defeat him. I mean, how is this fun or amazing in any way? I have to drop raid spots to players because of their class, reroll my profession, and stare at a wall all night to even have a chance at defeating this boss. Even after all that, if some DPSer attacked or dotted the wrong target, it was a wipe anyway, and all this crap was for nothing. Muru was nothing but hashtag dogshit, was as creative as an Etch-a-Sketch, and harder than anything in a game needed to be. The satisfaction in actually killing him was more a sense of relief that it was done. Maybe the players quitting the game out of boredom and frustration over learning this guy would maybe come back. Or maybe we can now replace these asshole shamans and warlocks on Kil'jaeden to get our friends back in the raid. Fuck Muru and fuck everyone who gives this guy his legacy.